Listen, I really want to start with a sincere, you are fantastic in this movie.
Thank you.
I have nothing but positive things to say. I have to ask you, that you've been acting for a long time. What has it been like the last few years? Like, especially like something like this year, you have this film, which you're incredible in. You have The Color Purple. You just did Sing Sing. I wrote down, you just worked with Ethan Coen for Drive Away Dolls. And you were the voice in Transformers of Unicron, which is also incredible. What has it been like for you these last few years and these roles?
I think the beautiful thing is I can recognize the journey, and I'm a journeyman. I've been working for over 30 years, and I started in the regional theater, regional theaters around the country, and just being a working actor. There's so many of us in that way. So I think I've honed my skills in that way for so long that eventually to New York and London, and then making my way in film and television. And now I'm very much a character actor and a leading man at the same time, it seems, which is kind of cool because I think the work that I've been doing when I was out in the regions was that work, whether I was, playing a leading man in a Shakespeare production or I was playing a clown. So I have that facility. And now that I feel like that facility is being really utilized in a really great way, which is awesome. So I feel like I'm able to play in different spaces and that people are seeing my work and appreciating it for what it is. And again, it's just, I've been working for a long time. And so it's been a slow evolution in a way. And now it seems that a lot of people understand what I've been doing or what I've been trying to do, which is really beautiful. So it's a great time.
This role, I'm sure when you looked at the script and you were offered the role and how you got involved, this must have been a real thrill for you to play this role, but also an incredible responsibility.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about what it was like for you once George said, hey, it's you, about getting ready to step on set?
And then you get terrified. You get terrified because you feel like you may have some of the tools that you may need to interrogate this role. But then it's also a sheer terror because you feel an incredible responsibility for a story like Bayard Rustin's that for years no one would touch. And he's someone who the idea that he was the architect of the March on Washington, and he has inspired Dr. King and was one of Dr. King's close friends. And we don't know much about him. And so it felt like a responsibility not only for many communities, for the LGBTQIA communities, for civil rights communities, for people who knew and loved Bayard and understood his impact in the world. So it felt like, a lot of that went on your shoulders. And all I thought was, let me just do the work. That's what Bayard would do every single day, make himself useful, which is a line in the film. He would make myself useful every day to just carve a little bit more of the work in, and not think about getting it right, but just trying to be as honest and of service to the script and the company that I was leading and being a part of. That was my North Star every single day.
Which day on the shoot, on the schedule, did you have circled either because you were incredibly excited to film it or because you were scared shitless to step on set that day?
There's a scene where I professed to Martin Luther King towards the end about me being homosexual. And they want me to possibly step away from the movement so that the march can happen. And he defends himself for the first time. I worked on that scene for a very long time because I wanted it to come out in a very organic way and let it build, let the moment build and not think too much about it, to be honest. And I just wanted to come from this honest place where performer and character do this. So there's a little bit of myself, there's a little bit of Bayard, there's a little bit of George, there's a little bit of every single person in that company of that 130 people on that set that is in that scene with me. And I would look at my cast most of the time, and they will tell you I would look at them before many scenes because I needed to take them inside me on this journey, because that's what Bayard did. He was a people person. He was, he inspired so many, but I wanted to take them all on a journey with me and say, this is all of our story. So that one in particular was a moment that I knew I had to take a lot in, and I knew that was the one, that moment is for so many people who maybe wish they had that moment to say, this is define who I am in the world. and challenge someone to say, do you believe it or not?
His life has so many amazing moments besides the March on Washington. If you could actually make another movie involving his life, what's the other moment that you would love to see on screen or be depicted?
I feel like when he was a teenager and he did his first protests, which was like, protesting the food in high school. Like, that's kind of dope. He's like, no, this is garbage.
And we need the year. It's the year that he was doing
like
this.
1946 or something like that.
It's you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. For a young, very much young queer black Quaker boy to stand up and say, no, this isn't right. In his youth, that is very interesting to me. I would love to see that because I think that's very inspiring. I think that'll inspire more youth to say, hey, you have power actually in your voice. And if you're committed to what's right and that's your North Star, you can't go wrong.
Last thing for you. What do you think it is? Why has it taken so long for this story to be told? Because it's such an integral part of the March on Washington, and the things that he did are so incredible.
Well, that's history for you, isn't it? History will make shining examples of some, and on others, they will push to the side. Whether it's for the optics of the movement, you name it. But there comes a time where you can't deny it anymore. And I think that these are these times now where certain stories are coming to the forefront. We can't deny it. Because also, I think you have people who want to make sure that these stories are told. President Barack Obama was very much inspired by Bayard Rustin. He said that the reason why he became a community leader is because of a lot of Bayard's principles and teachings. And so he's an inspiration. He's inspired so many. And now people are saying, oh, well, we need to tell his story because his story matters as well.
On that note, I want to say again how tremendous you are in this role. I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you, man.